Hey everybody, I'm Lee with Olsen Equine, and today we've got a special treat. This is a really nice barrel horse that just came onto our schedule. They just bought it, and at first glance, why don't you come look at the front? This horse has an issue. The horse is completely sound and hasn't had any problems, but if you look at these feet, they're not looking right at you. They're tipping, each one of them are tipping out. Then you look at the knees, and the flat of the knee should normally be sitting straight, just like they would on a straight-legged horse. Well, now he's got this big bump here, whatever that's from, right? So if you step over here with the camera, Kelton, now if you're looking over here, now the knee's looking like it should be if you're in the front. So we can automatically tell this horse walks like this. So it's very important to watch these horses walk. So just try to watch the way the leg moves and the way the leg lands. And you can slow it down if you want to. Go to the back. Okay, we'll do it one more time. Hitting on the outside on both feet. So we got some x-rays taken. I'll show you them right now. So right here is the before shoeing x-rays. And everything looks all right. The only thing that kind of bothers me is the lack of sole depth that's on this horse. And he's currently at 7 weeks. So that could be an issue. There's some excess toe, but that's not a big deal. But still not much sole depth. But here is the big problem. This horse has a crooked leg, as you can tell, but look at the joint spaces this horse has. They're all at an angle, except for the hoof. Right when you get down to the bottom, where the coffin bone is, you can tell this horse was shod level. And you can see how the joint spaces are pinched in the blue circles. That is problematic right there. So we need to trim this horse especially so that those are at the right angle. So we know something's up. And this is one of those horses in my experience that you can't trim level that you normally would. So come look at this. So I'm just going to pick his foot up, and I'm just letting it hang where he wants it. I'm holding it with my offhand. And you can tell that he wants to hold it really close to this other leg over here. All I'm doing is holding it. So this foot is trimmed perfectly flat from the last guy. So it was intentional to do it like a normal shoeing. But the problem is with this, is he's landing on this side. So after looking at the x-rays, you can tell that he's pinched in all of his joints right here, here, here. And then if he lands here, well then that means that we need to accommodate him a little better. If his horse leg is normally over here, well then we'll just do it basic, level, just a normal shoeing. But I'll grab my stuff. Always ask politely. You can tell he doesn't want to hold his leg over here either. So I try to keep him over here as much as I can. There's plenty of foot prep that Jeb already did. So I'm going to take a little bit more off this side. And I'll probably just rasp the rest. It really doesn't have that much foot on the bottom. And I don't have to do all of this in my trim. I can do some of it into my shoe too. Just to make sure that I don't over trim him. So you can already tell I've done just a little bit and there's no sole depth. So not a lot to do there. So now hold it with my opposite hand. Hold it where he wants it over here. It's pretty flat, but I want it a little higher here and lowering all the way to here. I believe they call that a spiral trim maybe, but and where the distortion is, I'll just kind of touch it up here a little bit. But there's not a lot to do. Foot's in relatively good shape. So a horse like this isn't going to have really great walls, and you can tell how he kind of wants to dish, and you can tell there's been some trauma, something going on here. I'm not looking to over thin his walls. I'm just looking to kind of get the distortion off, and we'll build a better hoof capsule as we get to shoe him a few times. This really sets you up to finish well, because I'm pretty much doing it all right now. So you can tell there's a little dip there. These Excel rasps are so nice. This is an older rasp and it's still sharp. Makes it look like glass. So, pretty close. And we'll do the same thing to the other foot. Same thing. It's level, but we don't want him perfectly even. We want him lower on the outside. Got pretty high heels. We'll take a little bit there. So as you can tell, I haven't done a lot, and we don't have anything for sole depth right there. So last thing we want to do is over trim him and hurt him. We just want him landing a little better for next time. Landing better for this time. We'll work on getting a better foot the next few times we shoe him. My goal is usually get 70% the first time and get the rest the next two shoeings. Alright, so same thing on this one. You can just see that there's been a lot going on this foot. So, same thing as before. We don't want to strip the walls down. We just kind of want to get all the distortion off. Ideally, we'd like to stay at the bottom third if we can, and we will on this horse for the most part. But if you have to go up higher, there's certain times when you can. Better. Sometimes stepping around makes it easier to get this lateral heel. Not doing a lot. So you can still see there's a little dish there. We'll get up to the toe, it's pretty much gone. Always set them down nice and easy. Let's take one last look before I go shape. So I've pretty much taken off all that I want to take off the bottom. So if I have to trim him more out of balance, I'll just do it with my shoe. So now I want to check it before I shoe him. So the right is significantly better while the left is still doing it. And see how it's still landing just right here? So from that I've learned I don't need to do much to my right front shoe because it's landing pretty good. But on my left front shoe you're going to see me thin the lateral branch down a little bit. So on this horse I chose to use the Mustad Libero. It's a sweet shoe. It's got a lot of mechanics in it. First thing we do is mark it so I don't shape the wrong shoe. So these shoes are shaped pretty good. If you look at this close up here, there's not much that I have to do to them. They're really great shape. And that's why you buy good shoes, is more time shoeing horses, less time shaping shoes. Knock a little sole pressure out. These shoes naturally have it relieved. It's always a good thing on these flat-footed horses, just make sure they absolutely do not have any sole pressure. So I'm always putting it right here because I can look at a box. I can go off this line, this line, this line, and this line. And it's going to help me guess really close on fitting the foot. And anytime you can save yourself trips to the horse, you're winning. Just get the clips hot there. Knock some sole pressure out. Right now I'm just thinning that. So you should be able to tell this one is thinner than this one. And I can touch it up with my grinder if it's not enough. That is way too hot to burn on. Turn it. Always cool them tongs off. We got an air-conditioned shop. We're working by the forge. Get a little warm in Texas. We've been working in this forge all morning, so this baby is hot. It doesn't take long. I don't really like getting my whole shoe too hot. Mainly the clips, and I want the rest of the shoe warm. Bad on the shape, it's a little bigger than it should be. Kelton, can you hand me a rasp? Love this trick, it's from Dusty Franklin. Little more. I gotta make sure I don't burn this down because I want this side lower. So what I'll do here is cool just this heel. All right, pretty close. Tweak my shape a little bit. As you can tell right here, this medial side fits pretty much spot on, while this side you can see the hoof, how it's right there. So I'm gonna bring it in right here. Try that. Just about ready. So from doing the other foot, I can kind of make some guesses about how I was wrong on it. So I'll just tighten this up a little bit first. Go cool this medial heel off like I did before. Shape is pretty close. Could almost fuller this lateral heel. You know you got a good fit on your clips and you gotta beat it on there. So I don't like my fit right there. I'm just gonna open this medial side, and then this is just a little too full for a barrel horse for me, as you can see right there. So I'll just bring it in just a little bit again. I'm not afraid to do some of this cold. It's all just about efficiency to me. Make sure it's level. Now you can tell on this medial heel there, that quarter, I'm not missing it anymore. So, like that fit, we're gonna go with that. I'll marker it, touch it up with the grinder. And look at that. See how I knocked the sole pressure out? There's no sole pressure in there. It's just how we want it. So you can see the black marks on here. Just going to kind of touch them up. Put the bevel back in it. Take out, touch up the sole pressure, make sure I don't have any high points. So right now I'm just going to get the rest of this lateral side. And this is just lowering it. That'll get hot if you're not careful. So, as you can tell, pretty different than the other side. It's going to work. Got to get to this shoe before it burns up in the forge. I said I could fuller it, but the thing is that if I do the same move I did on the other shoe, I'm going to get a lot of length and width out of it anyway. So, same thing. It's going to accommodate that horse for the way he lands. So you can tell quite a bit different now. And all the material from the shoe is still going to be there. I'll let that cool off there. The shoe's ready to nail on. Love it when horses are easy to work on. It's good to return the favor, be real good to them. So you can't see it, but you could tell he wants this leg that way. So I'm going to try to be nice to him, hold it a little more underneath his body a little bit more. Touch up my trim a little bit. Double check it. Yeah. So between the trimming it like that and then making our shoe that way should accommodate him really well. And these horses that have a weird movement where this one swings and hits laterally, a flatter shoe is better because if you put traction on them, it's just going to tear them apart. Meaning that when it hits, it doesn't have any give, and horses need just a little bit of give. This is the Mustad Endura MX50. It's a really cool nail. It's Endura coated, so it's super strong. Drive amazing. So on this side, I don't want a nail sticking up, and I've already ground this down, right? So if I use the same nail, it's not going to work. But if I step over and do a Mustad slider nail, these babies are smaller, got a smaller head, but yet they're really strong. It's going to continue to help my mechanics, but it's not going to stick up above the shoe. There we go. It all came out pretty good. I did set my shoe back a little bit, so I just bumped that off. You don't have to block your nails, but I like to. It makes them easier to finish. But always remember, nail clinch quality is about what they're drove in, not the clinches you put on them. So, zoom in on that color. So you can tell the shoe's got breakover all the way around it, but then we specifically put it to where it's tipped this way and ground down over here. So we'll go finish up our other shoe. Assuming this shoe's pretty close. So no, it's not perfect. Could come in a little bit right here, fit a little better. And you can fix this all with the grinder, but you're really better off just to make sure your shoes fit the first time. I'll go touch it up cold a little bit. This is what we did on the back. So this is the barrel horse. This is the St. Croix Aventer. It's a really nice shoe. Needed just a little more length on this lateral heel, so we fullered it. Great shoe. I brought it in a little too much. You see it missing right there? So, can't have that. Lateral side's good, as you can see over here. There we go. Covering it now. Might have got a little excessive on that, so I'm just going to bring it back just a hair, but I needed it to get back to this end of the heel. If you look up there, that's kind of just some of the therapeutic stuff, some of the cool things we've done over the years. This one right here, the big one, that was a Mexican slider. It came off a horse from Mexico. I thought that was cool. And a suspensory shoe, an aluminum one, a laminitic one, a rocker welder, broken coffin bone. Grant Mood made that one. That's a bevel shoe. Thing's pretty sweet. They've all got a story. You can see the marks on here. You don't have to grind your shoes. This helps me fit them a little better. And if you do this right here, it doesn't do a thing, but it sure makes it look nice. So there's that. Okay, so now to help this horse land better, we're just going to take down the whole lateral side. Touch up our sole pressure release. That should do it. Can't say how nice it is to work on a pleasant horse like this. If your horse isn't like this and you're a horse owner, You need to bring cookies, you need to bring snacks. Tipping's good. Happy Farrier means good shoeing. There. It's a little high right here. Jeb, would you get ready to finish, please? I didn't have the wall contact I wanted, so I went and re-leveled my shoe a little bit. So, same story. We're using the Mustad Endura MX50. They're very nice, but we normally use them all the time on these shoes, but we're only going to use it on the medial side this time. Always checking my fit when I do that. That's why I can't ever wear gloves. I mainly do all my stuff by feel. So I'm using the Mustad slider nails right now on the lateral side again. That's not going to mess with my mechanics. See that fit right there? That is nice. So if I'd have put one of these in, they'd have sat up just a little higher because I ground the shoe down so much. I'm going to go for the heel nail here. This horse comes from a long ways away. Otherwise, I'd have just put 3 on the outside and 2 on the inside. So, touching that up. So you can see it's a lot thinner here than it is here. That's 100% on purpose. You shouldn't have to tap your clips like that, but we all make mistakes. But I'm really happy with that. When he tidies it up, it's going to look pretty nice. Go ahead, Jeb. My apprentice Kelton Harris is doing the video in today. He's about done with his Journeyman. He just got a couple things left. The man finishing his Jeb hunt. He about got his certified farrier wrapped up, and he is the man with the finish. You can see if there's anything with your teeth when you're done. Right, Jeb?
That's right.
Looks like a mirror. Maybe that's the Excel rasp, though. All jokes aside, though, you don't need a finish rasp when you got an Excel. That's a gouge, and what that does is kind of makes like an ice cream scoop type of effect under the nail, to where we can have a really strong clinch, because all it does is just smash the clinch down into that. We're not trying to do it hard. We just ultimately want to bend it over and right into that. So even though he hasn't rasped this yet, you can run your finger over that and it's not sharp and it's not sticking out on the wall. So we're just kind of trying to tie all this together and make it look correct. Jeb's not looking to over thin anything. The finish is your picture window. This is what a lot of people see, so might as well do a good job. This is the buffer. It just sands it. It's not taking hoof wall. It just makes a really nice look and show horse. People love it. This is just a finer sanding block. We kind of take it over the top, but we try really hard at shoeing as good as we can, so we might as well make it look as good as we can. Yeah. So, tell how smooth that is and nice, but we haven't hurt the hoof wall at all. And we've got some expansion right here for that lateral heel. But this is a barrel horse, so we can't go crazy. It's all fun and games till they pull a shoe off. And we'd like to get some x-rays taken after this if we can get someone to do them. This really tells the story on these horses when you get to look at the bony column inside the hoof. Look at that. These horses can't hurt themselves on anything, and it just looks nice. Jeb always uses two different rasps, one that he can touch the steel with and one just for the hoof only. Helps keep your rasp a lot sharper. Steel just wrecks them. They're designed to be on horse hooves, not steel. Nice work, Jeb. Now let's see how good we did. We can make it look as pretty as we want, but the horse needs to be as comfortable as possible. So when we first walked him, this horse was, he stands like this, right? Not straight. So when he lands, he sticks the lateral toe, lateral toe. So we knew it was better after we trimmed him, so hopefully it's even better yet after the shoes. That's pretty nice. I don't think it's perfect, but a lot of these horses, you don't get them exactly perfect. Nice. Well, very happy with that, but I hope the horse enjoys it more than we did. And let me know what you think about this video, and if we can get some x-rays taken somewhere, we'll plug them in at the end of the video. Have a great day. God bless America. So as you can see right here, this is the before x-rays, and no sole depth, and very crooked leg. And then this is the after shoeing. Still no sole depth, but we got the breakover back, and the bony column is aligned pretty well. This one could still use some work, but we'll try to get it next time. But as far as this goes, I was super happy with the way this horse turned out, and we'll continue to help him as we get more foot to work with in the next couple cycles. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.